I came home to this video on TikTok, and what the speaker said made me think a lot, and they make me draw some kind of like alignment with what happened in Africa. As an African who I am, I see a parallel between Arab leaders and African leaders. In Africa, uniting two African leaders on a single thing can take a whole year. Just for two African leaders to agree on anything is a huge problem. The disunity among African leaders has been the thing or has been the issue that has kept Africa in its current political situation. Because if leaders from Africa cannot agree on any single thing, how do they expect to challenge outsiders who want to influence their domestic politics? How do they expect that? Because if one leader want to challenge a foreign country or an outsider, a next neighbor or the leader of the next country will just go in favor of the outsider and then do things that would be against the interests of their neighbor, just so they can be in favor the outsiders. It's the same thing with Arab leaders. They talk, they talk, they talk, and do nothing. So before we continue, just watch the video so you might get an idea on what I am talking about.
In front of the eyes of the very world, shamelessly, without trying to hide it, which nation was it which allowed its own territory to be used to transport US arms to the Zionist entity? Jordan. 10 days into the massacre, where Turkey had already exported 5,000 tons of fruit and vegetable, because you never know, these Zionists might get hungry because it takes a lot of energy slaughtering 30,000 Muslims, so you know what, we're going to feed them. That's what we're going to do. We're going to feed them. As the Ummah in Jordan and Egypt, they moved to the borders. They were demanding that the armies move. It was their own security forces who, instead of using their power against the occupiers, they turned on their own people to repel them. It is right now, as Muslim blood flows through the streets of Gaza, that the gas and the oil from the Muslim lands continues to flow to the occupiers. In mid-November, the Summit of Betrayal, aka the Riyadh Summit, it saw 57 leaders of Muslim countries come together. 57 Muslim nations coming together, all for the powerful and the frightening action of a mere condemnation. What a joke. What a joke. 57 nations come together and all you've done is condemn. No embargo, no blockade, no military action, just an empty condemnation. Some people think that these traitors, that they haven't done anything, and this is actually incorrect. Wallahi, they've done a lot. They've done a heck of a lot, but they have not done anything for the people of Palestine. The only action they've taken has been against the Muslims of Palestine. Our Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned, every traitor will have a flag on the Day of Judgment to identify them according to the amount of their treachery. There is no traitor of greater treachery than the leader of the people.
Let me tell you this story before we continue with the Arab leaders. Before NATO, under the banner of America and Barack Obama, before they invaded Libya, African leaders were all there. I think 53 of them, if I'm not mistaken. Ask yourself, what did they do? Libya was a member of the African Union. In fact, at one point in time, Muammar Gaddafi was the chairperson of the African Union. He proposed a lot of things that could have helped Africa get out of the shackles of Western nations. He proposed a common currency for Africa. he proposed a lot of things that the Westerners really didn't like. And so that made him the enemy, even though he might have been the enemy many years before. But it was just a matter of time before they teach him a lesson, so they would say. So when NATO was planning to invade Libya, the African leaders did nothing. They just sat there and watched. And I even saw this video. There was a speech made by the president of Uganda, Museveni Yoweri, who said that when this whole tension between NATO and Libya was ongoing, 5 African leaders got on an helicopter and wanted to go to Libya to kind of like talk about the issue. And they were told by NATO not to go anywhere. They were told by NATO that there was a no-flight zone in Libya. And the leaders turned around and went home. And when he said this, most of the leaders who were at this AU session just laughed. Like it was something very funny to them. And when I saw that, I was really, really disappointed. I have always been disappointed with African leaders, most of them. But when I saw this, when I heard this, I was like, wow. So you guys thought that this was funny, right? NATO would put a no-flight zone on an African country, and then you guys thought it was funny. And all you guys could do was just to laugh it out. Really, really, my brothers and sisters, really. So when it comes to African leaders teaming up together for a common cause, believe me, my brothers and sisters, if you gamble on that, you'll lose. They won't work together. They won't. They won't work together. It's the same thing going on in the Arab world. Arab leaders, no. They won't work together. All of them are just fighting for their own common interests. Because like the speaker said, Saudi Arabia is just thinking about normalizing deals with Israel. Because according to them, Iran is the enemy. Turkey is just looking for a way to sell more fruit and vegetable to Israel. Because after all, money is more important, right? After all, you need money to keep your economy afloat. You cannot build a strong military if you don't have money. Jordan is just trying to be friends with America by supporting Israel. And what about Egypt? What about Egypt? Egypt is just there talking and issuing condemnation, whatever that is supposed to mean. We condemn in the strongest terms. We condemn, and nothing gets done. They condemn Israel every now and then, but Israel just moves ahead with whatever they want to do. They don't care. Israel doesn't care whatever condemnation they put forth, because Israel knows that these are just words of mouth. These are just bluffing. There is nothing that will come as a result of this. They just say this thing, and then everyone goes and do whatever they are doing. Israel knows that. Israel knows that. So Arab leaders are as worthless as anything could be. I have always believed that when you have a problem, the first people to come to your aid, for example, if you fall sick at night, the first person to come to your aid will be your partner, because that person will be the one next to you, maybe sleeping next to you. Then your family, because they might be sleeping in the next room. They will be the one to seek out help, to maybe call the ambulance, to maybe drive you to the hospital. And then maybe the people in your community will start visiting you the next day in the hospital. Or when you have been discharged and sent home, they will come visiting you. That is how it is supposed to work. So if Palestine is having a problem, the people in the Muslim community are they supposed to be the first ones seeking out solution, coming to Palestinians' aid, defending Palestine, saying no to Israel, putting their foot on the ground and saying no, Israel cannot do this to Palestinians. But what have they done so far? Have they really stick out their necks for the Palestinians? Have they really, really gone all out to protect Palestinians? Have they? They've not. If there's one thing they've done, is to leave the Palestinians to dry. That's all what they've done. That's all what they've done. Arab leaders for you. So, to you guys, my brothers and sisters, what is your take on what the speaker in the video you watched said? Is he right or not? Was there anything more the Arab nations could do to kind of like stop Israel or deter them from what they've been doing in Gaza so far? Was there anything anyone could do? Share that thought with us in the comment section below, because like always, we love hearing what you have to say. And also, do not forget to like this video, share it, subscribe to this channel, because that helps us a lot, and we shall forever be grateful to you. So thank you very much for doing just that, and like always, see you in the next one.